Samurai. Now, this is the job I have skimmed through because this is the job I main. This is the class I play the most. Currently. Fuck. I hate it. I absolutely despise the updates they've done in Samurai, and I'm going to talk about it because I have to. I talked about it to my friend. I was actually I was just watching my series on TV, and I heard the patch notes came up, and then I went to just look for the Samurai. The first thing I did was find the job action for the Samurais because I play Samurai the most. I kind of want to know what the Samurai has gone in. Just alright. The good thing is Akase's potency has been increased from 180 to 200. It's not bad. It's not bad. Jinpu Shifu has been increased by 20, but this is your missed combo. If you miss your combo, you do 20 more potency. It doesn't specify the combo bonus. It does specify it for Gecko. And it also specifies for Kasha that Gecko and Kasha do 10 more potency overall for your combo. And if you do the right positionals, it's still the same. It does 10 more potency. Third eye has been increased to 4 seconds. It's alright, I guess. But the thing I liked about Samurai was always trying to time third eye if I could, because it's such a small window. And it does feel nice being able to hit it. If you get way more time, it just feels like a button you don't have to worry about. And I do want to play with the knowledge, the idea of having to think about what I have to press in what order and what time. So it's a 1 second extra, but it wasn't needed. I don't think it's that important to give extra seconds to the Samurai third eye ability, because it's something like it should be a small window, because it should be a fast ability to use to protect yourself. It's just been a bit, I guess, it's been buffed, but I don't feel like it's that important. The damage of Higambana over time has been increased to 30 to 45, but the ability oh, this is your Keishi Higambana. Okay, so I'm assuming the normal Higambana attack is still the same. So overall, your normal Higambana has a 200, a 300 potency buff. Yeah, your first Higambana has a 350 potency buff, but overall, it does, as far as I know, it does 150 potency less, due to the fact that Kaiten is not used before the ability. Because I don't know if Kaiten works for the damage over time. I never really thought about it, but I assume it did work for the main ability. Like Higambana has a base potency attack before pulling out the damage ticks. It's not just the dots. It's first the potency and then the dots. I assume Kaiten was used for the potency normal attack, the burst attack, and then the dots don't apply. If they do apply, then it doesn't matter, because Kaiten would still be 45. So even if the dots of Kaiten applied to the dots with Kaiten would be 45. So I guess Higambana has not changed. Higambana has not changed at all. If I think about it now, never mind. Higambana is just Higambana. It's just there. It's an ability you need to press. Nice. Mangetsu combo potency has been increased from 110 to 120. I assume that's your AoE attack. I'm never good with names. I just know how the abilities look like. But 110 potency sounds about right for an AoE attack. Your Kasha, which is your flank attack, has been updated. Yeah, same as Gecko. Tenka Gorken is not a cone attack anymore, but it's also just around. So that's pretty nice. And I assume the Kaishi Gorken has also been changed. It's also been deep nerfed, but let's talk about that later. Your Oka potency has been increased as well. It's kind of nice, I guess, because I did feel the AoE attacks of the samurai were a bit low. I guess, yes, you could use your Hisatsu attack every now and then. It just didn't feel right, because it's still, even the Hisatsu attack was like 120 to 110 potency, so it didn't really matter that much. But anyways, Yukikase combo potency has been from 280 to 300. Okay, I assume... Okay, no, that's actually nice. Yeah, because the combo potency of Yukikase was the same as Shifu and the other ability, which were all 280, and Yukikase was also 280. So having a slight potency buff for 20 is actually pretty nice. I do appreciate Yukikase having a slight buff. Your Setsugeka potency has been reduced from 660 to 600, but the attack is now land a critical hit. I'll talk about the auto crits, but I don't mind that slight debuff compared to having a critical hit guaranteed. It's not that big of a deal for the Midari Setsugeka. But let's just move on. Now this I did read and I was very happy. Make your Shishui. The ranged weapon skills no longer count towards the effect of this action. The amount of fucking times I had to use Meikyo because I wanted to use my abilities, but some fucking AoE forced me to go out of range and I still wanted to do range attacks. I couldn't. I didn't want to do that because the moment I used my fucking range attack, one of the stacks was used. So that was just a massive DPS loss. So I'm very happy for this. I'm very happy for this slight yeah, this update has really it's making Samurai not feel bad about having to like retreat and then not being able to like use the the buffs, the Meikyo abilities. So I appreciate that. I really do. So Hisatsu Shinten is now acquired at level 52. So it's pretty nice because you can use it in a couple more low-level dungeons and trials. The potency has been reduced to 270 to 250. I don't mind the slight debuff, the slight nerf on the potency because due to Kaiten not being used anymore, you could pull out an extra Shinten attack overall, even though it does cost 5 more Kenki than your Kaiten. But it's still, you would still like... Whereas you would use 4 Shinten, you could now, for example, use 5. So you'd still have like a... You'd still like have like 150 to 200 potency buff on the Shinten. Hisatsu activation damage, but just to match that with the other backstep actions, alright. Q10 acquired at level 62, previously level 64. Okay, so that one does take a while. Okay, that's a bit awkward, but fair enough. Okay. Keishi Gambana has been reduced. I don't use Keishi Gambana really. Keishi Gorken has been reduced. It's a shame because it also doesn't land a critical hit, and I know it's like nearby all enemies, but that doesn't make it more powerful because the thing I loved about this is I had to move as a samurai to prepare my Keishi attacks. And I didn't mind. So I would use my first AoE, which back in the day was also a frontal attack, which now has been updated. I would use that ability. I'd run into the mobs. I'd use my first Sen AoE. I'd go back. I'd do the frontal cone. I'd go in. I'd do the second attack, Kaiten, run back, and then use my Goken and the Keishi Goken if I could. And if I'm lucky, Shohatsu as well. But that depends if I have my mediation stacks. This, I don't like, because it just makes the job way more easier. And I don't like being dumbed down to the levels of someone that doesn't want to move in the game. Now, I'm mainly playing PvP. So even if I'm fighting a boss that doesn't require to move, I still move around. I'm just used to moving because I always want to like make the enemy team nervous. I want to scare them off for like trying to pull something out. I need to be prepared to run away if I won't be able to defeat someone, blah, blah, blah. And I still, out of muscle memory, I still use my WASDs very often in normal content. It's just fucking stressful for the healers, but I don't give a shit. I just move a lot, alright? Setsugeka's potency has been reduced from 990 to 600, and it grants a critical hit. This is shit. I get the idea of reducing the potency, but 390 absolute total potency to just get a critical hit? I can't speak for the numbers, but it's too big. It's too big. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't like it. I simply don't like it. That's what it is. Shoha potency has been reduced. It's already an ability that you don't often use unless you have your mediation stacks by using your Midaris or using meditation when you're on downtime to get your Shoha ready. It's ludicrous. I don't think it should be reduced. I think the 580 was already a nice spot. It's not an ability you often use. Oginami Kira has been reduced from 900 to 800. Guaranteed to land a critical hit. I don't mind the debuff. The Keishi Namikiri has been reduced by 550 potency to just get a critical hit. So even with the critical hits, the overall nerf in the Setsugeka combos is around 550. Is around 900 potency for 4 critical hits. Now, I can't say it's a bad or a good thing. I don't know. Sometimes that 1350 Namikiri has a critical hit. Most of the time it probably doesn't. But the issue I have with the critical hits, right, is that Samurai is not viable for a lot of other jobs in a raid. Dance partner is fuck all. One of the songs, I think the Wondrous Minuet of the Bard, is pointless because it grants critical hit rate. Or I think critical hit chance. Okay, it's the same thing, sorry. Battle Litany of the Dragoon. And one of the Astrologian abilities, I actually wrote it down. I wrote it down. Let me find it. See, I talked about it yesterday to my friend about Samurai before this patch would come out. Both Ogi and Keishi Namikiri have an overall potency of 250, but since Kaiden is removed, I assume the potency will go higher, since you always need to use it before Ogi does 900. Ah, what a young child, what an innocent mind. What an innocent mind. Oh, bro, I thought it was gonna get a buff. I did say I'm sure it will be unfair. I'm sure it will be unfair. So I wanted to get... I probably expected a nerf, but just not that big. That's my issue. I expected like a 200 or 150 potency nerf, but the Kaishi Namikiri is such a massive nerf that it doesn't feel like I should use it, because essentially the ability is almost on par to your Setsugekas. So it's like almost pointless to get it prepared because it just does the same attack. You basically get a third Midari stack. That's what you get. You just get a third Midari attack that has a slight potency buff. It's not like your big finish finale hit it. Because you have to remember, I'm getting so vexed. Your Ogi and your Keishi no Mikiri is something you use every 2 fucking minutes. You don't even use it that often. And it's just a Midara now. It's just a Setsugeka with a slight potency buff. I don't give a shit if it's an auto crit. The auto crit should not have existed in the first place. Removing Kaiten should not have been changed in the first place. Samurai should have just stayed where it was, and the job should not have been changed. The only thing they could have done is remove Shoha 1 and Shoha 2. Make it just called Shoha, and say the ability does 600 potency and 75% less potency to the other enemies that are being hit by it. Just do that. Phantom has it. Most new jobs have that typical AoE attack where the first guy is being hit with the most of it and the remaining are being hit by a certain percentage of that potency. Do that with Shoha. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Your Hisatsus could also be merged in the same mindset of that AoE attack. You could have it doing 350 potency and do 50% less to the remaining enemies. That's the only thing you could have done to change it. But I don't understand it. I don't understand why they did this to Samurai, and I'm just standing by this point that this should not have happened at all. I don't know where I said it. I think it's been a while since I've said it, because I did complain about it for a couple of days already, about the Samurai. So I don't know where I said it to my friend, but I know I did. Actually, if I search Battle Litany, I probably will find the indexing. He's probably finding the... Okay, so I did say the issue right now for the Samurai is that Battle Litany from Dragoon, Wondrous Minuet from Bard, Devilment from Dancer, Dance Partner, and Change Stratagem from Scholar have literally zero effect on the Samurai. Just none. Just zero. Samurai has just become a very selfish... Like, it was already a selfish DPS. But now, it's even more selfish. I just don't get the idea of all this. I guess from this point on, this is what I don't understand. Especially this one. This is a big one. This is a big reduce. This is a big hit on the potencies. Even for a critical hit. It's gonna streamline Samurai a lot. And that's why I just don't like about it. And it's also the abilities just don't become as... They just don't have a big effect on it. The potencies are comparable to a fucking red mage in terms of how the attacks are being prepared. It's ridiculous. I think this is such a bad idea. I'll still play Samurai because it's the job I main and I'm not going to change. But I'm vexed. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off about this whole thing. Everything about it, except the thing I like the most right now is the idea of your ranged weapon skills no longer count towards the effect of this action from Meikyo. That's a good thing. Should have done already. It's a good thing. Everything else, though, critical hits, Kaiten, which is removed. Why? This shouldn't have happened. And I'm fucking pissed off. But you know what? It's just what's my opinion gonna count as? I'm just a simple guy trying to play the game for fun. But they made Samurai a simple job, and it's just easy to play Samurai. It's not so faulty to make mistakes. Fuck, I'm actually not... Alright, Limit Break. This is what I'm excited about, because they have changed Limit Breaks. Zantetsuken. Swiftly charges forward, dealing damage to targets and all enemies nearby with a potency of 24k. If target is afflicted with Kazushi, deals damage equal to 100% of the maximum HP. Okay, so I would have to use... Fuck. So I'd have to use Cheetan. Okay, actually no. This is actually fucking mad if you think about it. If there's a ton of characters attacking you while you have Cheetan ready, and you use... Well, you have to use it fast though. Fuck me. Duration 3 seconds. What's the cast time? Oh, it's instant. It's instant. Okay. So you'd have to use Cheetan. If there's like 5 or 6 guys in front line absolutely trying to beat the shit out of you, and you use a potion to try and like keep it up for a second extra, get that, all those targets get hit by Kazushi, then make sure you can use your Zansetsuken. It's an instant kill for everything that has been hit, because it also ignores the effect of guard when dealing damage. The additional effect of Kazushi cannot be applied to players riding a Machina and non-play combatants, can only be executed when a limit gauge cannot be executed while bound. Oof. But still, that's besides the point. This is an absolute instant kill of a limit break for so many people. So overall, it has been nerfed and buffed at the same time. So I guess it's just there. It's just there. But fuck me, that limit break is... that limit break is... If you know how to use it, it's fucking massive.